Hi Gemini, it's your basic bitch here. I'm going to do an extended bonus read for you for the month of October. I've pulled some oracle cards for you, and I hope they resonate for you. I hope the messages resonate for you. If they don't and you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below for how to contact me. You can contact me via email, Instagram, or Facebook page. If the messages don't resonate, check your sun, moon, or Venus sign, but probably your sun sign will resonate, or your this ascendant, your rising sign of Gemini. And if you're new, welcome to the bitch family where we keep it really real and we adult that shit because we know universe is watching. I'd love to have you be part of my collective. I can't be in your vibration. You have to be in mine. So if the messages don't resonate, just understand that that's because you're not in my vibration, but I'd love to have you. So join me, comment, like, share the videos. This basic bitch is here for you. So, Gemini, in October, I feel like you guys are going to go through a transformation. You're having an awakening of some kind, and the time to act is now. The zodiac cards you pulled when I talked to the solar system about you was Pluto. Your ability to transform, take a big leap forward, and rebirth. And Pluto is about like the compulsive forces and unconscious nature that brings about really huge transformations in our life, Gemini, and the ability to organize and deal with society overall. And it's about power too. And I love this card. Look, out of the ashes, the phoenix will rise. Your ability to transform, take a big leap forward, and rebirth. That was kind of amazing. And then from my oracle deck, move all this crap around. I'm going to read this to you. For my Divine Feminine Oracle deck, which is Work Your Light Oracle cards. It's the deck I use to represent my Divine Feminine angels. You got awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, and integration. And the message is during this time, you're going through a time of transition and awakening, and you might be called to devote yourself to being of service in some way to others, either with your work or just in your family more. You might be asked to help and be of service to others in October. There are ideas, truths, concepts, books, and creations waiting to be birthed into the world. You're having an awakening, and you're changing on many levels this month. You might have some past life flashbacks. Like you're going to see like this invisible thread that's woven through all of your life. You might even feel like Kundalini Shakti rise through your body at different times, and you're being called to share your experiences as well. And that should be easy for Gemini because they're quite the communicators. Like you guys just are such communicators and talkers. So pulling this card might be a sign that you're here to birth some kind of new creation out of yourself and into the world this month. Or maybe you're being called to make a big shift in your life in order to be of service to others in some way. The message of the card is don't think too much about it, okay? Instead, repeat the following Work Your Light activation. I love this. I surrender to my awakening. I allow the Shakti energy to rise from the base of my spine. I open myself up to the universe, using me in a way that delights my mind, body, and spirit. So whatever you're waking up to in this new way of being, I think it has a lot to do with choosing to be happy and choosing happiness, and also in serving others. There's just this amazing awakening happening for Gemini. And I love that. And the time to act is now, Gemini. That's what the message of the hummingbird wants to share with you from my divine masculine angels. They're coming forward to tell you this. So, despite being so little, hummingbirds are great journeyers. They migrate between North and Central and South America to feed from summer nectar. And this little creature can be very territorial, and it protects its home. Hummingbird teaches us to be gentle to ourselves and to protect our space, but it invites us to embark on an epic quest, which I love. You have to, and I love it. It says, bypass the dung pile of old pain and hurts, head for the flowers, and learn to trust the calling you hear ever so softly. And awakening is about a calling, and Pluto is about, those compulsive forces of nature that bring about all this transformation. I feel like this month you're going to be called to do something, and you're being called to go on a new adventure. And the medicine of this card is the mighty being comes to teach you, this mighty being comes to teach you stillness and motion, and to trust your inner knowing that the sweetest nectar is assured. Failing to act when the moment is right can spoil your journey. If you feel your safety, comfort, or day to day survival are more important than saying yes to the invitation to explore the unknown, you will have to work much harder to achieve what is being offered to you freely right now. Still your mind, even in the midst of your very hectic schedule, and heed the gentle voice that calls you to test new wings. So, wow, Gemini really being called to do all this amazing new shift. Let's see what your Celtic cross looks like, Gemini. Universe, for Gemini, please. For Gemini, those born on Earth between May 21st and June 20th, or those with the Sun, Moon, or Venus sign of Gemini, this is a general message. It's not necessarily meant to be a relationship spread. It's very general. If you're looking for love messages, I do love messages, Gemini, or you can check your Venus sign or your Sun sign. But I think this will resonate with you if this is, you were born between May 21st and June 20th, or you're in the Sun of Gemini. But if you resonate more with your Moon or whatever your chart's heavy in, that'll work too. Do what feels right. For Gemini, please. Spirit, for Gemini. Celtic Cross general messages for Gemini, October 2019, Earth time. Five of Wands in reverse, coming out of conflict. You might be having some inner conflict about things. This is my Celestial Tarot deck. I use it for Vedic astrology. So you're coming out of conflict. You might be avoiding some conflict too, but ultimately you want to release tension moving into October in some situations, probably with others. It's not fights, it's just like a tension, wanting to release tension. But you're also probably trying to avoid some as well. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Gemini. Oh, Canis Major. I love that. Eight of Swords. The bottom of the deck, we've got so you've got, wow, you're getting over some stuff that's hurt, Gemini, moving into October. Five of Wands in the center of it all, coming out of conflict. And then at the bottom of the deck, I've got Five of Cups in reverse, which is also, Five of Cups is about getting, like crying over spilled milk. And maybe you're dealing with some personal setbacks, but overall, you're moving on from some pain. You're forgiving yourself. You're forgiving other people. Things that were emotionally disappointing to you. Prince of Pentacles, which is Knight of Pentacles. It might be you might have been moving into October just tired of working for a situation. If it was a relationship, you didn't want it to manifest. You felt bored, you felt stuck. Or you or someone else just didn't offer up that, wasn't Prince Charming, or you weren't Prince or Princess Charming, weren't manifesting a relationship. And you might have had some kind of homecoming, but then that just didn't work out. But now you're getting over that. That's what the reading within the reading tells me. So what's crossing you, anything that's keeping Gemini from moving forward in October, will just simply be almost more the same, like Five of Wands, with that tension release and maybe conflict avoidance, dealing with inner conflict at this point. What's crossing that is Eight of Swords in reverse, which is if anything holds you back from that, Gemini, it'll be the need to release negative self-thoughts and self-talk. your self-limiting beliefs. You might have a really strong inner critic, but you know you need to be open to new perspectives if you want to release this tension within yourself or other people. So work on that. I love this. My giant doggy in the sky. He's so beautiful, this constellation. And yeah, the only thing keeping you from doing that is just releasing that negative self talk, Gemini, and just needing to be open to a new perspective. So just try. What's driving you? The Fool. You really want to take a new leap of faith in some part of your life, a relationship, a job. You want to start a new cycle. And Pluto and the awakening and the hummingbird, knowing that you need to act quickly, and not be afraid to use your tiny little wings and go on this a new adventure. Here it is. Oh my gosh, going on this new adventure with the Fool, ruled by the planet Uranus. Sorry, you guys. I have seasonal allergies and I can't breathe. I feel like I have COPD. What's in the past is this Page of Swords in reverse, which is coming out of a place of being all talk, no action. This little Page of Swords is done being curious about others. He was thirsty for knowledge. He tried new ways of communicating, new ideas, super curious. He was a little stalky, but in the reverse, he's more focused on self-expression. You or other people around you might not have been able to manifest with action, like get things off the ground into fruition. When others or you did act, it was kind of hasty and haphazard. You might have also felt a little ignored in certain situations, like people just stopped acting towards you, literally stopped communicating with you, stopped talking to you, or you just stepped away from a situation that you were no longer curious about anymore, and realized probably that your self-expression and the way other people consistently express themselves and their interest in you was important to you moving into the future. If you felt ignored in any situations or people cut off communication from you, that's probably what you're getting over. But I like that you're ready to take a new leap of faith with some part of your life. Moving into October, what's crowning you is Princess of Cups, Page of Cups. So 2 pages here on the table, moving out of September into October. This is you or someone else coming into your life, sending you some messages, very curious about a possibility, looking at a new, opportunities. It's autumn, moving into autumn season. It represents that season. It can also be an apology that you or someone else owes you. Just thinking about ways to manifest with your emotions. You're seeing opportunities in things right now, and you're not quite ready to be the knight or the queen or the king. It's just kind of like you or another energy around you is kind of tiptoeing into something as we move out of summer and into fall. But with the Fool here and this above it, that's good. It means the energy is a little bit more balanced, and it's not full bore. Like when I see the Fool driving you and then crowning you as like the Knight of Swords, I'm like, whoa, are you sure you're ready for that? So I think that that's good. You or someone else might be expecting some communication, and you're wanting it to come from the heart, wanting to explore, and you're following your intuition, or they are, when it's time to do that. What's in the future is expansion. Perseus, that constellation, rules this in the Celestial Tarot. 3 of Wands. So I think in this deck, he's like looking back, on everything that's happened here in the past, in August and September, and learning from what's gone wrong. And I think he can't expand, Perseus with the 3 of Wands can't expand, Gemini, until you release this tension within yourself and others, and you quit it with that negative self-talk and those limiting beliefs, okay? But the 3 of Wands is good. You're ready for progress. You're ready for expansion. You have more foresight now. You're seeing more opportunities and you're ready to move forward. You might be kind of waiting for something though. You might be waiting for those ships to come in. But with this deck, the way he has his hand raised, a little bit more in control, 1 foot up, you'll only wait so long for something. Three of Wands really waits for its ships to come in, but I'm getting the sense, Gemini, that you might be willing to meet someone halfway here, which is good. Meet others halfway. Won't wait forever. You might like wade out into the water and help those ships come in so that you can expand and progress. The threes are about examining the full growth potential of an area in your life. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, fire energy. That's good that you're ready to just move forward and expand like Pluto, and transform even. What you're bringing to the table, though, like inner resources, deep subconscious stuff that you're bringing into this month of October. 4 of Cups. So maybe a little mopey still about a situation, reevaluating emotionally some things. You're going to be deep in contemplation. You might be a little bit withdrawn moving into October because you're still thinking about some things. You might still be wishing for something. The important thing to understand about the 4 of Cups is that you can either stand up and grab that cup, and when you grab it, it'll be real and you can drink from it, or you'll grab for it and it'll just poof, disappear. And if it does that, then you'll know it wasn't meant to be and it wasn't worth moping over, and that there are usually 3 cups right in front of you that you could have picked up and utilized. You have more than just, you don't need to wish for that one thing. Just keep that in mind. But I think you're going to get past that because we have the Chariot, which is major arcana, which I love. The Fool and the Chariot, some major arcana cards for you. What others are bringing to the table, though, don't expect a lot from the people around you moving into October. The energies closest to you are throwing 9 of Wands in the reverse. They're having they're needing to rely on their own inner resources. They're not as resilient. They're not as persistent. These folks might have had their boundaries tested or tested your boundaries in some way. The energy closest to you right now is struggling and overwhelmed. It might even be a little defensive and paranoid. I love this. It's the constellation Draco. So it's just a little defensive, a little paranoid, and just struggling to resiliently move forward with you. And that might bother you, because you're a little mopey right now moving into October. Hopes and fears, 3 of Swords, self-explanatory. You're afraid of having your heart broken. You're afraid of having to deal with emotional pain. You might be worried that, whatever tension you're trying to release and getting over these self-limiting beliefs, Gemini, and, letting go of like a self-imprisonment, which I think that you are, but you're still being critical of yourself. And it's making you fearful, you're so afraid of getting your heart broken in a situation. You're afraid of emotional pain and hurt. I'm sure you're not hoping that someone else will hurt you or you'll get hurt. I never aspect these cards, but I think I will for that one. But I don't want you to worry, Gemini, because check it out. The Chariot, whatever you're driving for, or whatever, like this mopiness, getting over this tension. We've got the Fool here that's driving you. I think by the middle of October, I just saw like 14, 15, the middle of October, even though the Chariot is 7, it's Cancerian energy. Could be dealing with a Cancer at that point. You could be dealing with an Aries at that point, but that's just, pretty circumstantial. The Chariot's amazing. It's this Cancerian energy because Cancer can pick up and move. It's very adaptable. It just has its shell and its big claw, right? You'll have a lot of control and willpower. I think you'll get control over your emotions, control over that tension. And you'll suddenly be really determined to act. There will be action, there will be forward motion, and there will be success. The Chariot is the card of victory. So I think that you will move towards some things that will make you happy. And forward motion's always good. You'll either move away from a situation or move towards something better. With this Fool card, you might even literally be moving. Universe, can you aspect the Five of Wands in reverse? Yes, they can. My goodness. They're like, we're ready to talk. Okay, something was really unfair. If it was a legal case of any kind, because justice is Libra energy, it's about the law, cause and effect, and fairness and truth, and a quick and speedy decision. You might feel like things moved slowly. Letting go of this tension is slow for you because somebody in the situation, or there might have been a lack of accountability on someone's part in your life, a lack of honesty to something, an unfairness to something, slowly coming to fruition. I get it. Universe, can you aspect, thank you, Spirit. Can you aspect, Spirit and Universe, the Eight of Swords in reverse? Wow. Oh my God, you got 3 cards. Yep, here's this Page of Swords again. Okay. Oh my. Okay, so bottom line, I think that Gemini moving into October feels really cut off or ignored by a lover. There you are, Gemini. Or just all blocked, you're kind of blocked up, having a hard time making this happen here. And trying to come out of conflict with someone over it. Could have been a lover, and that's what you're trying to release here. I think you're hanging on to some past resentments, but you want to make amends. You want to reconcile, probably with a lover and someone you had a deep connection to. And you or this person might kind of be ignoring each other at this point. Moving into October, that's what's going on there. But that Eight of Swords being in reverse is good. That's good. Just don't manifest with your Three of Wands. Don't expand back on that cycle, okay? I'm not even going to aspect it because I want you to live your own life out here, okay? Universe, can you talk to me about the Three of Swords, please, for Gemini? The Three of Swords for Gemini. Thank you. Overwhelmed. Oh, you had too many choices. Temperance, could be dealing with a Sagittarius. So I think that Gemini, emotionally, relationship, whatever. At one point, you had a lot of choices on the table, and you might be overwhelmed by choices right now or not feeling like you have enough. You or other people in your life and other situations might have had different values, and you need to go back in for alignment. His choices overwhelmed you. Maybe dating overwhelmed you. All the things you were pouring into overwhelmed you. Emotional situations overwhelmed you. And right now you are, even though you're really afraid of getting your heart broken, Gemini, you do have temperance with this Sagittarius energy. And the lesson of it is to make sure that you have purpose to each choice. Each choice has to have a purpose. And you're not feeling like all these choices have purpose for you and they're overwhelming to you. So, but you're moving into October with balance and patience and moderation. With this balance and patience and knowing you need to moderate and have purpose for everything and everyone and every emotion you pour into in your life, I think what you'll realize, Gemini, is that there's so many cups here. You can take some of them off the table, okay? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. What omen does that mean? See, I just said take some off the table. I just expelled something. It's like this crazy gypsy omen, you guys. I don't know. Somebody look up sneeze for me and tell me what the hell that means. What is kind of a tarot reader am I if I don't know that? I don't know that omen. But yeah, if you take some of these cups off of the table, if you're so overwhelmed by the choices, the temperance is coming to you now this month to teach you that, look, I only need to choose a few things that align, or, emotional situations that align with my personal values. And I don't need to be overwhelmed by my choices. Your emotions might have overwhelmed you and you're afraid of a broken heart. It's going to be okay because the Chariot, Spirit, can you clarify the Chariot for Gemini? Why is this here? Thank you. Four of Pentacles. Moving forward, you will move forward, and you will, oh, this is good. So you are really going to move to a place, Gemini, where you know that you're only willing to give what you have to give. The Four of Pentacles is kind of my miser card. But that doesn't mean that like you're withholding in a bad way. You really want security. You're going to be conservative. The Chariot's about having control and as you move forward and being determined. And Four of Pentacles is about being in control of your own resources and what you consider currency, what's important to you. As security moving forward is important, you know, especially with money and anything you consider currency. You're going to hold on tight to your pentacles, your time, your resources, your dollars, and realize that you don't have a lot to give and you need all four of those pentacles so that you can drive forward successfully and be in control and have willpower. Queen of Pentacles in reverse is really working on self-care. You might have work-home conflicts. You might be working on more financial independence. You're really going to need to take care of yourself this month moving forward. When I see the Four of Pentacles and the upright and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse with this forward motion, what it tells me, Gemini, is that moving forward, you are going to really take care of you and yours. If you have kids and you're a single parent, be you a man or a woman, you're going to need to hold on really tight to your resources so you can continue to drive moving forward. That's important for you to know. That's really good. Really, really good. Where's that one deck? Where's my special deck? It's hiding from me. Here it is. Gosh, this basic bitch is ratchet. Gemini, ask Spirit a question and we'll see if we can get some advice for you before I leave you. On your trip to this awakening and the time for action and rebirth, ruled by Pluto, transformation, rebirth, creatively moving forward. Universe for Gemini. Do you have advice for Gemini? Advice moving into October for Gemini, please. So a cycle is ending for you, moving into October. Scorpio, Gemini, don't be resistant to the change. It's a personal transformation. Allow for an inner purging. There's that broken heart again. You need to get over this broken heart. And whatever situation you're bound to, let it transform you. Just let it die. Thank you, Spirit. What else for Gemini? 2. Thank you. Judgment. We've got Judgment and Justice. Wow, Judgment fell right over Justice, you guys. Thank you, Spirit. You've heard an inner calling. You've heard a reckoning. You've heard an awakening. It could mean that a Libra broke your heart. That's entirely possible, but I'm not aspecting it that way. Yes, something broke your heart and you need to let it, you need to transform, let it die, let it go. Don't resist the change. It will transform you. You did the right thing. You listened to your inner calling. You had an absolution. You passed your judgment. This is a reconciliation with you or someone else around you, or mostly within yourself, and it gives you rebirth. Just like Pluto. Do you have chills right now? I do. Don't be afraid to act now. You've had that awakening. Judgment is an awakening to a degree as well. Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. If you feel like you need to act in a situation right now, you're feeling driven to succeed and think fast, the Spirit is telling you, yes, the time is now. Just like Hummingbird, the time is now. Go charging in, be ambitious, be action-oriented and driven to this goal. It's time to think fast. One more, please. Final, one more piece of advice for Gemini. Please, one more. Spirit, one more, please. You tricksters, Gemini. Let's just be patient here. Thank you so much. Walk away. 8 of Cups in reverse. Walk away from a situation, okay? Just walk away and let it drift away. You're feeling indecisive. You're thinking about trying one more time, but you've passed your judgment here, Gemini. And the Scorpio energy of death is here. And you need to do that quickly, okay? The Son of Swords, the Knight of Swords wants you to do that quickly. And it's ruled by an owl in the Wild Unknown deck. This is about wisdom. This is the smart, right thing to do. Quickly take action, to walk away from whatever this situation is, and don't ignore your inner calling. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Father of Wands in reverse. Could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You need to make better choices moving forward. Don't be too aggressive with your goals. Do not have high expectations of other people. Focus on your personal direction. And worst case scenario, don't be stupid and don't be a player, and don't let anybody else play you either, okay? Don't let anybody use you just because you're there. And because the King of Wands in the upright is a natural born leader. He has grand visions, and he's very driven with that fire energy. He has a long-term plan for success. If you plan long-term and work on that self-care, hold on tight to the resources that you have, you will be successful. You will have forward motion. You will find purpose in your relationships, and will get over this broken heart. All right, Gemini, good luck in October. I'd love to hear about what happens. Contact me for a personal reading for further clarification. This was a pleasure. I love you, Gemini. I'll be listening to the universe for you. This basic bitch loves you. I will see you next time.